So my next purchase was my Smith. I love this gun. And empty magazine, nothing in the chamber, safety check. This is a great little gun. And I'll tell you, it's a 9mm compact, so it's a Smith & Wesson M&P9c. Great gun. When I went looking for this, wasn't looking for this specific gun. Went down because I wanted a gun that was larger than the LCP, and a little bit more fun to fire, that I would use and go practice with on the range, but also small enough to carry for self-defense. And this fit all those categories, but there are several other guns to look at. Down at my local gun shop, of course, they recommended a Glock, and they have actually in the store a separate section of their shop that is the Glock shop. And they were pushing Glock hard, and I don't blame them. Glock is a great gun. I'll tell you, I watched some videos on YouTube, and one of them, I wish I could remember. I tried to find it again, so I give you the link to it. It was a trainer, and he was talking about the feel of the gun and fitting the gun to your hand. And he had an exercise to drop your hand down by your side, and then basically getting a straight position on the gun, and then your finger pad should be easily on the trigger. And I think that was my issue with the Glock. I went down to the range. I'm lucky enough to have a range here where you can rent lots of different weapons. I rented the Glock 26 and shot that. I rented the Smith & Wesson, shot that several times, because again, Glock has a great reputation. Everybody at the store just was Glock, Glock, Glock. Didn't say anything bad about the Smith. Obviously, it's a fine, reliable weapon as well. But for whatever reason, the Glock was less accurate for me on the range. It felt less comfortable in my hand, and at the end of the day, the Smith just felt right. I mean, it was just a nice, comfortable fit for my hand. I've got smaller hands, small to medium hands. And I think part of the issue was with the Glock was the size of the grip. Quite honestly, it also has a little bump back here. It kind of protrudes down at the bottom of the grip, and I don't think I like that. And it just essentially forced my hand to swing around to the side in order to get a proper triggering on the gun. So I ended up with the Smith & Wesson, and I heard a radio interview the other day, so I won't take credit for this, but it was just the perfect description of how I felt about the Smith & Wesson. This gentleman was talking the same thing. He was going down looking at different guns and trying to figure out what to purchase. He was actually looking for, as I remember, a Springfield XD. And he said he was, at the gun show, and he had his son handing him the guns, and he would shake hands with the gun. And he said when he shook hands with the M&P, it shook back. And I said, boy, that is just perfect, because that's exactly how I felt about this Smith & Wesson. It just felt so good in my hand. It was a perfect gun. It definitely shook back when I shook hands with it. So I would urge you, if you're going out looking for your first gun or your first carry gun, just to talk to everybody you can talk with, watch lots of videos on YouTube, and handle the guns. I went to a couple of, after I purchased this gun, actually, went to some of the local gun shows, and didn't buy anything. Well, eventually I did. At one of the gun shows, I've got my Beretta Nano, but initially I didn't buy, but it was just great to go, because there are so many different guns there that you can look at, you can handle, you can ask questions. So you've got 15, 20 gun dealers there in one place. It's great, convenient. So you get to go in and try things out and see what feels good. And that's probably the most important thing, is what is comfortable in your hand, because that's what you're going to shoot the best. So that was a lesson that I learned with this purchase. And so I would just urge you to consider that before you make your first gun purchase.